everybody, welcome to Snyder's Think, and today we got another the disturbing part of the internet series. We got volume 5. We're gonna get right into this. Ladies and gentlemen, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, comment what you think down below. Let's go.
Welcome. For this one, I decided to cover 7 topics. I had 10 topics planned for this one, but it would have been a waste to cover all of them in just one video. I still spent a long time on this one, so if you end up enjoying this episode, please make sure to subscribe and leave some feedback in the form of a rating and a comment. Also, I usually provide uploads a few days prior on my Patreon, so if you want to see these videos a bit earlier, check out the Patreon.
Me to start a Patreon. Part of me thought about it. Part of me is not fully sure. What do you guys think?
I really hope you enjoy.
And be honest, if you don't feel the need to say yes. I don't want to do. I wouldn't want to start something if you guys wouldn't want me to do it. Because you're more part of this channel than I am. I'm just the face on the screen, okay? I'm the face on the screen. It's a replaceable face also, let's be honest. But if you guys would want me to start one, let me know.
I first stumbled upon this mystery through the help of a viewer through Reddit. They mentioned a channel that had a video that shows a young boy in a severe medical emergency. There's also a Reddit post that received a huge amount of upvotes. It reads, quote, "Only 15 subscriber channel made by a father documenting evidence that his son was suffocated by Japanese military officers in retribution for uncovering active fraud and conspiracy within a stem cell company and individuals of high social status." The link video states that the boy's name is Jimmy Ryan, and that his father was documenting his case in order to show malpractice in the Japanese military. The video makes a lot of disturbing claims, along with displaying some unsettling footage of the child clinging to life in a hospital bed. I can't show the entire video since it's extremely graphic.
Won't show any efforts due to copyright. The following only includes screenshots at most. That's fair.
But I'll describe it as best as I can. Jimmy has band-aids covering his mouth and eyes while slightly laying on his side. The father states that the boy has a high fever and freezing cold hands. Yellow, white, and red text is overlaid on top of the footage, discussing the alleged corruption of the Japanese authorities, who seem to be trying to cover up the boy's condition as a medical accident, while also trying to shift blame onto the father. As the video progresses, it is revealed that Jimmy's eyes seem to be in a permanent state of his eyes rolling to the back of his head, and his mouth is slightly open. We later learn that Jimmy is disfigured. His hips and shoulders are broken, causing his rib cage to collapse on his lung.
Okay, listen. If this was doctors done, they did more than just suffocate. Listen, you can suffocate people, okay? Alright, this is gonna be one of those ones where you probably looks like there's cuts in between, because my friend did call me and we were gonna go over something, and then him and his girlfriend were having issues, and now he hung up, and he'll probably call me again while I'm doing this video. So this will probably be done in parts. As I was saying before, with that amount of damage done to that kid, there's no way he's just being suffocated. Either the fucking hospital decided to beat his ass, or the father was a bit more than he's landing on what happened to this boy. I'm not saying the guy is just dead, but like there's multiple parts to this here that are clearly not being said.
Throughout the entire video, the father talks in a very calm manner. At the end of the video, we are greeted with a Facebook and a Change.org link that was created to spread the word about Jimmy's condition. The Facebook page has more details on Jimmy's condition, along with images before the event, as well as what James Ryan, the father, looks like as of 2015. The Change.org petition doesn't provide any new information. A letter to the American ambassador and senator of Japan about Jimmy's case was discovered on LinkedIn. It was written by a woman named Quenby Wilcox. She describes herself as a founder of Global Experts and Gamma Feminist movement. She actually still creates content for the site to this day. Anyway, in the aforementioned video, it mentions life-saving stem cell technology that could be used to save Jimmy's life. Strangely enough, a website dedicated to just that belongs to his father under the name Elpis Aramo. It describes itself as pioneering body regeneration from cellular duplication. Their homepage goes further into specifics about how they operate. However, it's rather noticeable that the website is less than professional. There are copious amounts of grammatical errors. The co-founders are full of people who aren't actually associated with the company.
It's just a bunch of random names? Is that what this is? It's just a bunch of legitimate random names? Is that what this is? That's brilliant. Like, look at all these founders. Do you know any of them? Nah, a single one, but they're all founders, let me tell you.
One of the addresses listed leads to private property. The phone number listed is not in service, and there's a website that is very similar to this one.
This is slimy as This is slimy as all hell.
That also has Ryan's name on it with similar issues. There are multiple pages locked behind password protection, so there's maybe more information we are missing out on. I won't go through the massive amount of posts on these websites. It's a gigantic rabbit hole, and it would be a bit too much for this format. While Jimmy's condition is definitely legit, the entire thing is super fishy. The websites and companies seem fake.
That's why I said there's more to this than being led on here. There is something up with this case, and I don't think it's as directed towards the doctors as we think it is.
The things that the father claims could all be fabricated. Or maybe there is some truth to it. It's a really strange mystery. Honestly, this one is so bizarre that you really need to see it with your own eyes to believe that it's real. It starts off with this guy touching and talking to a woman in the train. It's unclear what they are talking about. There's another person.
The man seems aggressive from his first approach. The man seems very aggressive from his first approach with it.
Sitting next to her, which seems to be her boyfriend. At this point, he just grabs her and takes her outside the train.
My man, what's your game plan here? What? You picked this woman up out of no field, took her off this train, and you didn't even like run away with her. You just like sat her down on a bench and then let her just get up and. What was your game plan here? This is the worst kidnapping attempt I've ever seen in my entire life. It's the worst kidnapping attempt. What did I witness? What the hell was the plan here?
Get up! You think he's trying to grab me? You think he's grabbing me at the train? Yo, the nigga just had the screen right here, look! Yo, this nigga just had the screen!
That guy.
Look, this nigga right here! This white nigga, look, this nigga had the grab, look! Who grabbed you? This white nigga right.
There were probably people just like tripping, but hey, we'd like to leave, but you let the door close, please. That's why all they care about is the door damn closing. Sorry, I had to answer a message. So these, This is you saw me counting shit and I wasn't even. You see how my brain works? My brain just zones out and focuses on other shit, not realizing what's going on. But yeah, the people are probably just like, we like to leave, and they're like, this woman just tried to get kidnapped. Well, we'll deal with it afterwards. Just don't let us leave the damn. Let us close the damn train door.
Right here, wake up. Hold up, first of all,
Man, why are you sitting here? Why is the man himself still sitting here? I'd walk away and leave by this point. Like, what the hell?
The clip ends with her boyfriend or whatever constantly asking who grabbed her, but he didn't really react. The footage is so weird that it left me speechless the first time I saw it. I really tried to find some meaning or reasoning, but it was really hard to fully grasp the entire situation. My initial thought was that he really wanted to kidnap her, but quickly realized that it wouldn't work out, so he just let her go after sitting on the bench. However, this clip went viral and a lot more information surfaced on the web. He actually got jumped by a couple of people. I definitely can't show the footage here, but you can imagine what they did to him. The only thing he really said in this video was that he was trying to help her. At least that's what I understood him saying. In an Instagram story,
This is bizarre. So he tried to say he was trying to help her, but he never made it clear. She never made it clear why he was trying to help her. She didn't look like she needed help. Because the fact is, let's say she was in danger. And she couldn't get off. This man grabs her, brings her out of the damn train. Why would she then just walk right back onto the train if the train was the danger?
he shares his side of the story.
I didn't see my son yet.
He said he don't want to do nothing with you.
All right, listen. This is what happened.
You know what you're doing. Like,
This is what happened. Yo, listen. This chick was like, yo, help me. I was like, yo, what happened? He was like, this girl is holding me hostage. I was like, oh, this dude right here? She was like, yeah. I said, then get off the train. She was like, nah, he's going to beat me up. I was like, all right, so at Morrison, I'll scoop you off. So then when I scooped her off, she started screaming, help, help. I'm like, yo, why this bitch screaming help? So I sat there. You see on the video, I sat there. So then I left. So then the dudes on the block was like, yo, why you trying to rape that chick? I'm like, yo, that was a grown crackhead that was wilding out and shit.
This guy's story makes no fucking sense at all. None at all. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He just made up something on the fly here. Makes it look good.
So then they tried to jump me or whatever. They did whatever. So they took me to the precinct. They cleared my name. And now I'm free.
He's not really referring to everything that happened in that moment, but he claims that she just wanted to help her out and that she told him that she's being held hostage. That's why after he picked her up, he just sat down and let her go. The thing is, why would she then scream for help and ask others to call the police? I mean, we got two perspectives to the story now, but there are a lot of questions left. He made another story, explaining it a bit more.
Okay, what do you see in the video? You see me pick her up, I go, I put her behind me, and I sit down, and now I'm facing the train for in case homeboy comes out, because that was the story that she fed me. Oh, he's holding me hostage, and he won't let me off the train. So I said, why don't you get your ass off the train? She said, oh, because every time I try to get off the train, he tries to snatch me back and hold me hostage. So I said, and if you look in the video, I say, all right, on the next stop, and I point back, that's Soundview, I'll snatch you off the train, and I'll keep him from getting you when you walk the fuck off. So she nods her head, and then when I do it, she starts screaming, help, help, Buck. So you see me sitting there with a confused look on my face, like, why is this fucking chick yelling, help, Buck? So then I get up and I walk off. Then the rest is history.
Come on, man. There's no way that's actually what happened, bro. Come on.
People jumping me and all of that, and
Well, what do you think? Who do you believe?
I believe the woman that got kidnapped. That's what I believe. Who almost got kidnapped.
On the evening of Valentine's Day in 2017 at around 8 p.m, Ellie pulled into her driveway. As she got out of her car and headed to the front door, Joseph attacked. He plunged a syringe into Ellie's upper leg and injected her with a dose of cyanide. The whole attack was caught on the surveillance cameras Ellie had installed to keep Joseph away. Ellie Tran, the victim shown in the CCTV footage, was a single mother working various jobs to bring in as much money as possible for her family.
So this guy ran up to her, did a syringe to her with the goal to kill her. What the fuck?
Joseph Merlino, on the other hand, was very controlling, forcing Ellie to contact the police, resulting in Joseph being fined. Ellie feared for her life every day after that day. She installed cameras in her area in an attempt to collect proof of him still harassing her, but this didn't stop Joseph. Joseph was eager to get his revenge. He waited for her in her driveway to start the attack, injecting a lethal doses of the poison in her leg, leading to her suffocating. While awaiting trial, Joseph went on a 2-month hunger strike and lost 40 pounds. The prosecution believed he was trying to make himself look different to the images on the surveillance video. He also managed to delay his sentence by foaming at his mouth and violently shaking. In the end, it did not matter. He was still given a life sentence.
Good. This is a life sentence. The man's fucking crazy. This is one of those crazy next. This is a long shot. What? Stalker. Okay.
The following footage captured by a CCTV camera spans across multiple months.
Oh, we've seen this. Okay, we've seen this one. We know this. This is just that weird stalker, like throws fucking piss and throws fucking a bunch of shit and just stops his car and drives up and down the roads. Never actually attempts anything.
In the footage, we can see a car stopping for a minute to talk to the uploader's wife. The captions from the uploader give more details to the situation. The car stopped and the guy asked her if she needs a ride, to which she replied that she lives here in the house. The next day, the same guy parks his car in front of the house. He just sits there for a brief moment, watching the house. After a while, he decides to drive away. He decides to do the same thing for multiple days. He even drives backwards and just stops, constantly watching the house. And the uploader details that his wife went to the store with her bike and got confronted by the man once more. This time he told her that he needs help around his house and with driving. She told him that she can't drive and cannot help him. This didn't really change anything though. The man continued with his behavior. This time even more extreme than before. While he would only visit them once per day and just look around, he decided to hang a letter on their mailbox pole requesting for help around his house, even leaving his phone.
I'm gonna assume, because I know the way stalkers are, they contacted police. Police said he didn't actually do it. They can't do anything because he didn't actually commit a crime because you're still alive. Because in their mind, unless you die at the hands of a stalker, the stalker's done nothing wrong. Really weird, but just the way law enforcement seems to think that it goes.
Number. After this, he sat in his car for an additional 7 minutes before driving away. Consequently, the uploader decided to make 3 more update videos. He talked about another driver who would throw bottles filled with urine in their driveway. However, the last upload is the most crucial one. And the uploader called the police to handle the situation. The driver was a guy in his 80s with dementia. While this one got solved, he didn't manage to catch the other driver. At least from what I've seen.
Okay, so the guy with dementia. So the guy doesn't actually have knowledge of what he's doing. I don't know why he's going after the people in the house, but he doesn't really know what he's doing. We've heard about this one too before. We've heard about this one.
A picture was posted on my subreddit with the following title: "Can anyone identify this woman for the now defunct site Cannibal Cafe?" The picture included many details and descriptions. Her name is Chelsea Loco. She's being advertised as a product, at least according to the description. This entire topic dates back to the early 2000s. The computer engineer Armin Meiwes ate an engineer named Bernd Jürgen in 2001. The grotesque part about this case is that Bernd Jürgen wanted to be eaten and gave consent to Armin. Overall, the German courts were quite challenged, since there wasn't a specific legislation to deal with cases of cannibalism involving voluntary victims. Despite this, Meiwes was sentenced to 8 years in prison. I won't go too much into detail about this case, since most of you should be familiar with it. More interestingly is the website they use to contact and communicate with each other. Through a reverse image search of the picture posted in the thread, we get multiple search results, one of which leads to a very interesting and relevant WordPress. On here, we quickly realize that the Armin Meiwes case is not as exceptional as it seems. This website basically functions as an archive board with numerous archived images and screenshots. This one, for instance, depicts a screenshot of the front page of Cannibal Cafe. Interesting to note are the people making threads on this website, one of whom is called Pero Loco. Additional research and investigation shows that Pero is the founder of this website. The intention and reasoning behind creating this website is also a bit odd and doesn't seem genuine. It reads, quote, "If you don't have that kind of fantasy, you'll probably find our content shocking and offensive, which means our site isn't for you. Please go away. The material we produce is fanciful in many ways. There's nothing realistic about it. Our viewers know this. Far from normalizing violence, we've relegated it to the realm of fantasy. It's not the presence of such fantasies that lead people to acts of violence, but the absence of conscience." And to be fair, I think that some of the stuff posted on here are clearly just made to fantasize. It's so absurd, I doubt it's real. I can't confirm the correctness of the following information, so it's up to you to decide whether it's real or just created for the sake of their fantasies. The girl in this image is Chelsea Loco, his own daughter. According to the website, Pero accepted his daughter's quote-unquote application. Apparently, she wants to have a short career as an adult actress and then get executed live on camera. There was a livestock application form on the website with concrete choices. Is the applicant voluntary or involuntary? What is she trained in? How should the termination look like? As for involuntary cases, here's one example. Ashley Beshiam was delivered to them by her ex-boyfriend. The way to get her is to trade in your wife, girlfriend or sister. This seems exaggerated on purpose, so I doubt that this is real. Some of the archive screenshots are extremely graphic, so I can't show them here. But from the looks of it, none of the images depict the real deal, if you know what I mean. It's mostly just art. You might think that all of this is fake, that no one is naive enough to publish photos of themselves and discussing such a matter online, but you need to keep a few things in mind.
There are sick bastards out there, number one, so yes, there are people who will do that. Two, this thing is known maybe because there was a real life case that two people met on this site.
Firstly, this happened way back in 2001. The internet was very new to the broad public. People didn't know what to expect, what the consequences could be. Secondly, their IPs were captured for each post, and they even offered their email addresses, which they are still using 2 decades later. Anyway, it is entirely possible that this website was made just to fantasize about the thought of being eaten, as a form of roleplay. However, this changed when Frankie, or better known as Armin Meiwes, used the website for his interests. A few of his messages are in German, so I'll translate them in the following. This one is in English. It reads, "Hi Stevo, I'm Frankie from Germany. I'm very interested in you. Tell me more about you. Height, weight. I'll butcher and eat your delicious flesh. Mail me at anthropagus@hotmail.com. Frankie." The next one is pretty much exactly the same message. He says that he's from Germany and wants to get more details from him. He also calls himself Metzgermeister, which roughly translates into butcher specialist or butcher expert. The next one is in German. It reads, "Hi Hänsel, being burnt alive is certainly a nice imagination, especially for you as a victim. And keep in mind that you carry around 35 kilograms of meat with your weight. If all cannibals eat 500 grams of meat per meal, and that's a very large portion, we would need 70 cannibals that would end up eating you. None of your delicious meat should be left to spoil. To gather such a large number of eaters should be quite difficult to accomplish. So if you should make up your mind to get slaughtered normally, then please contact me. I'll professionally slaughter and cut you into pieces, and eat you entirely with different cannibal friends. I look forward to your response. Your butcher expert, Frankie." After the incident with Armin Meiwes, the entire site kinda died down, which didn't stop Pero. He created multiple websites after, which to be fair, lacked traffic. This case is extremely tragic. It shows how individuals harm the weakest to fulfill their desires. The following CCTV footage shows 3 individuals: Isabella Gosling, Philip Nicholson, and Richard Morse. The victim here is Philip Nicholson. He was in a relationship with Isabella Gosling. At the time of the recording, Isabella was in a relationship with Richard Morse. She told Philip that she wants him to visit a mutual friend. That's why in the footage it looks like a fairly tame and normal conversation that they are having. Isabella was not telling the truth. She wanted to lure him into her own flat. Once they arrived, they tormented him to death for a total duration of 17 minutes. The entire procedure was recorded on Isabella's phone. In the recording, Isabella demands an apology from Philip. She claims that he abused her. The allegation neither was proven nor reported to the police, making it possible that it was probably just made up.
Oh, 100%. It was made up just so they could, if it got revealed, could have sympathy and they'd be like, oh, she was an abuse victim. Now that makes it okay, because that's usually how it works. There are stories, legitimate stories, and an abuse victim having enough and taking and just reacting and just taking their partner's life. That is a thing that has happened. The reason that probably this case wouldn't get that reaction is because they usually don't plan out their revenge, like to do it. They just gotta do it because they're sick of being abused. Usually.
In the last few minutes of the recording, Philip was heard begging, saying the following: "Stop, because I don't want you to. Please. I don't want to be threatened. I just want to be friends." After the recording, Isabella and Richard left the flat and walked back to the bus. There doesn't seem to be any urgency or fear of getting caught. They seem relaxed, not bothered by what just happened. Isabella Gosling and Richard Morse were sentenced to life. This last one isn't really all that disturbing. I wanted to reveal how this was actually solved, but never found the time to do so. And some of you might remember this one. I made a video roughly a year ago covering a lost media topic. Let me refresh your memories with a quick summary. Basically, there's a film called The Films of Nanny Lynn, which depict crude computer animated children's stories. The stories are somewhat weird, but it's clear that they were made for children and probably served an educational purpose. Also, a female narrator was narrating all of the stories. In the time of creating my video, it was unclear when this film was made, what purpose it served, and who the narrator is. And 2 months later, Barely Sociable also decided to cover the same topic, and he also failed to understand the purpose behind this film and who the narrator is. However, this topic is actually solved. I have no idea why, but the narrator decided to contact me in a very uncommon way. I made a random community post back in the day talking about our hangstank, and she decided to write a comment. She included quite a bit of personal information, so I'll just censor them in the following. It says, quote, "Hi Eudoxia Mystery Collector. I'm the Amiga animator who created the NLVs you posted. I made them to entertain my 6 grandchildren when they were little, back in the 90s. My email then, as now, is blank@blank.net, the blank standing for blank videos. They were inspired by the things that interested my grandchildren. Dinosaurs, princesses, all kinds of animals. And anything exotic, vaguely scientific. We were all news junkies in my family, and the war in Bosnia was happening then. There are another couple of hours of those animations on other VHS tapes in possession of the boys in the story of Bob the Blob, Dylan and Jake Sinti. I'm Lynn, age 77, now living in Florida, but those videos were made in Michigan, and copies made from floppy disks at Such Video, Michigan. Apparently, Such Video kept some copies that eventually came into your possession. So she thinks that I'm a collector of some sort since I made a video covering her film. I had a little conversation with her and my info lined up with Barely Sociables, so it's definitely the original narrator of the film. Finally, there was a Reddit thread from Castigamat, the guy that brought this topic to light in the first place, compiling all of the collected information. Finally, on the subreddit r/Nanny Lynn herself states that she even has more tapes in her possession, but doesn't know how to upload her tapes online. I wish I could help her, but I also have no clue how to do so. Her message reads, quote, "I, Lynn, the originator of Nanny Lynn videos, have obtained some more VHS tapes of my old Amiga Paint-produced stories I did for my grandsons in the 1990s. I've moved to the Florida Keys for retirement, and these tapes were sent to me by the person who cleaned out our old Michigan home. I don't know how to upload these tapes to a digital format to share with others. The stories are meant for children in single digits. There were 3 hours of them altogether. Yes, they seem weird by today's standards, but they were a labor of love originally. There is no service near where I now live to transfer the tapes to an online format. Can anyone help?" If you want to help her, you can try to reach out to her on the subreddit. That's it with the video. I would like to thank all of
Yeah, there wasn't super a lot to this one. This one was just one that, we got quickly in and out of. Hopefully the next one will be a bit more, one we can dissect into. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think of this one in the comments. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all for the next one.